Hello guys, welcome to a new video on Tower of God New World, and in this video we're going to have a look at the Terrestrial Facility. I still see a lot of people confused about this topic and not really sure what to run in terms of stats in the Terrestrial Facility, and I'm going to address that in this video. I already have a tab on my spreadsheet that you can also see here on the screen that I recently changed. Actually, I started making changes yesterday and I finished them, I hope, today, like before this video. So yeah, I'm going to go over what I changed in this tab, and I'm also going to go in detail about why you should make some changes, how to tell when you should start to move from one version to the other, and stuff like that. Before, I just wanted to quickly mention some terminology, let's say. And you can see here I reference a lot like additional stat 1 and additional stat 2. So what are those? And you can find them here, like in every single node has 3 stats. The first one is the core stat, and this is tied to the type of node you are looking at. Like in this case, it's an accuracy node, so the core stat is going to be accuracy. If it's a flat HP one, it will be flat HP. If it's an attack percent one, will be attack percent. That cannot be changed, so that's static. What we're looking at are the other two stats. Additional stat 1 is obviously the second stat, and additional stat 2 is the third stat. I didn't invent this terminology. If you look at the rates, you will see here in additional, you have additional stat 1, and these are the options. And then you have additional stat 2, and these are the options. So it's not like I invented anything. That's just how it is. Okay. And you can also find them here. These are kind of the relevant ones. As you could see, there are also like HP, attack, etc. They all appear everywhere, like accuracy and evasion. The only ones that really change are these 3. So magic resistance, crit rate, and lifesteal for additional stat 1. Physical resistance, swiftness, and crit damage for additional stat 2. Those are all that change. Now you can already see accuracy and evasion appear in both, as I just mentioned, but really important, they should always only go in additional stat 1. Never, ever, ever have one of those in the additional stat 2. And I wrote this banner here to emphasize that. So accuracy and evasion should never be selected in the second additional stat, only in the first. And also here, there is some sort of color scheme. If it's a light yellow background, it means additional stat 1. If it's a light blue background, it is additional stat 2. Why you should never have accuracy and evasion in the second one? That is simply because swiftness and physical resistance are way more important than magic resistance, crit rate, and well, we don't even talk about lifesteal, to be honest. So yeah, way, way, way more important. Not even comparable. So definitely, you do not want to waste those slots for accuracy and evasion. That being said, I think I should mention another thing first, and that is only look at this table when you have access to all 3 nodes. To unlock it, you first need to have 3 A's, like this one. And yeah, okay, look at this stat. I will have to get rid of that, but whatever. You need to have 3 A stats in every single node of the first page before you can unlock the other 2. That's the only requirement. So only the first page should have 3 A's in every single node. Then you unlock the second, and you can roll whatever you want. So that's kind of the idea. So lock every single A you get, and that's it. That's what you have to do at first. Now, assuming you have all 3 pages, which kind of setup you should try to look for? I will say the first one that I called accuracy issues version. That is the one where you need your 3 essence to provide you with enough accuracy to be able to hit the enemies. This is what I think will be the default one that people should kind of build. And then you can slowly transition to the next one. But this is not going to be a black and white transition. It's not like once you reach a certain requirement, you need to get rid of every single accuracy node. As you just saw, I didn't, because I'm still not really in a condition to do so. I mean, I can still remove probably 1 node more or 2, but I'm not really in a good spot to be removing all of them. And I'm going to talk about how you can determine that for yourself later in this video. But yeah, for now, I just wanted to mention that the first version here still has really good secondary stat distribution. I believe they still have quite high amounts of swiftness rolls, which is arguably the most important stat in the Tree Essence, and also good enough physical resistance so that it's easy and affordable for you to build ignition weapons. This is not the most insane amount of physical resistance, but it's definitely better than zero. So really good, will help you build your ignition weapon sets for 99% resistances fairly easily. In some scenarios, and I wrote some notes also in the, let's say, more late game version, I wrote a lot of notes to just how you could further customize it, but it kind of depends. I think this one is a pretty solid basic setup people should be running most of the times. Here I wrote as an indication floor 100 and below. To be honest, yesterday it was 70 and below, but it didn't really make a lot of sense actually, so I kind of moved it up a bit. And again, as I mentioned, this is not black and white. It's not like once you reach floor 101, you should immediately transition to this one. It's just a gradual decrease in accuracy node in favor of some other ones. So again, try to merge the two based on your needs. And I also added an additional note here, that is, if you are not a spender, this might always be the option for you. I should probably phrase it differently. Probably by the time this video is out, the sentence will be changed. But basically is that if you're not spending on this game, but like a lot, then this is probably where you're going to be stuck for probably all your playthrough, to be honest. Because to actually move to the next option, you need a lot of accuracy in archive. So this is likely going to be the version you should look for, and maybe remove 1, 2, 3 accuracy based on how much you have from the archive, and slowly move it to either more magic resistance or some more stats like crit rate or stuff like that. Try to see what's the difference between the two trees, and then add some points here and there where you need to. So I mentioned archive. What is that, and why is that so important in defining which version you should be running? If we go over to the control center, we have the archive session, and you will see here in the teammates tab, all the archive is obtained from this one, so nothing from collection, nothing from growth. And if we go over a random one, we go to record effects. As soon as it moves, it's kind of freezing, okay? We have for every unit in the game you take to level 6 report, you get a +1 in accuracy. And that's already quite good, and you'll be getting a lot of gifts. You will eventually get every single unit in the game, including R units and SR units, to report 6. It will take some time, but you will get there. And this gives, again, accuracy to every single unit, not only the ones in the same collection, let's say, but to every single one. Then the second accuracy increase that you get is when you reach Rainbow 5 with the unit, and that's a +3 to accuracy. And again, you will, over time, reach most of the units to Rainbow 5. It will take a lot based on your spending, so you can already see why whales have better archives than non-whales. That's kind of obvious. And the distinction is even more like pronounced when you look at the last two requirements, and that is Revolution 3 and Revolution 6. I don't have a lot of SSR Revolution 6, actually very small numbers, like BAM here is one of them. Then I believe Nare, Mamanak, and that could even be it, to be honest. I don't really have a lot, but I have, I think, every single SSR plus. So let me just quickly check. For SSR plus, I have all of them except for Rachel. To be honest, I don't even know if collab units are counted. I need to check. But yeah, whatever. I have basically every single SSR plus one. Okay, also Escanor is not Revo 6. I need to check if they count. I don't think they have an archive page, to be totally honest. Let me check. because it's not here, it's not here. No, they don't have an archive page here in connections, so they do not count for those numbers that I just mentioned, but they do count for this one. So in your revolution here, you also see that, where is that? Damn it, I already capped it. So yeah, the first time you reach with a family head revolution tier 8, you have, or where you unlock a total of 8 times, so it could even be over 2 units, maybe Rainbow 3 one, Rainbow 5 the other, it would still count for this additional accuracy. And the same for SSR Plus teammates, a total of 156 times. You upgrade the revolution, you get additional accuracy every now and then. It's like, I think, every 2 of them. So it's a lot of accuracy from here too. So yeah, you get accuracy from all of those sources. And at the moment, I have an additional 822 accuracy from the archive. That's quite a lot. You will probably have way less unless you're a whale, and then you might even have more than me if you're one of those that invest in Revolution for PvP. You will have more than me for sure. But if you are a normal player or a low spender, you will definitely have less than that from archive. And now, why is that important? Because the ways that you can get accuracy are the following. One, Revolution 6 of a unit. That, as we saw, is also giving +1 to everyone, but that's, let's say, almost irrelevant. Rapport 6 is giving you 100 accuracy. So let's take this guy, for example. And we go to report, we have the +100. So that's one way. We also have the origin orb. Okay, fine, but that's just base stats. It will all get, I don't even recall what's the total. I think 150 or so, probably even a bit more. Then you also get it from gear, so equipment, the normal equipment. You get it from slot 1, and on some of them also from slot 3, like on mages and supports. And then you get it from the substats in the ignition weapons, or also the 2Ps for Sundance, I believe. So yeah, those are kind of the ways you can get some more accuracy, and obviously the Trescence facility. Now, most of these, like the gear, can be accounted for, and you can level it up if needed. The report, you can level it up for the units that need it, no problem. Those are kind of base that will always be available. So what you need to do, from my point of view, is you go over to Adventure, the current floor you're at. You look at the enemy evasion. So let's look at this machine. It doesn't matter which unit you pick, they all have the same evasion. So it's 1395, let's say 1400. Then you take a look at one of your units. We took the example of this guy. I would remove, if possible, the ignition weapon, because they might have some substats with accuracy. We don't really want to account for that. You can leave the normal equipment. Up to you if you want to take it to +5 or +1, but or plus nothing, as it is now. But definitely, if you have it at +5, you have to take into account that you have like 60 more accuracy. And when you are in this situation, be careful not to have to pick a unit that has increased accuracy from the revolution subnodes, because you can also get accuracy from there. I almost forgot. Not every class, like warriors, don't have it, but ranged units do. Mages do. I believe supports do. So there are some that have accuracy as a subnode. Definitely decrease that to the count that we're going to say now. So again, we know that the enemy had like 1400 evasion. My accuracy is 1550 without the ignition weapons. I will decrease from this number the the one I have from Revolution, which is 0, so it's still 1550. And I will also remove the one from the True Essence facility. So in True Essence facility, strength is giving me 198 accuracy. Now I will leave a 90 accuracy, because that's kind of the baseline that we have here, because we have 3 main nodes with accuracy over the 3 pages. So that's around 30 on average on each, let's say. And you should be getting 90. So let's decrease it by, let's say, 110. which means I have 1440 accuracy against 1400. So if I remove every single accuracy node, I would only have 40 accuracy more than the enemy evasion. That's enough for a handful of floors. So I'd say up to probably 140, I will have enough accuracy, then I will start to struggle. So should I remove it? Kind of up to you. I'd say having at least 100 to 150 higher accuracy than the enemy evasion is nice. It guarantees that if you forget about it for quite some time, you will still have more accuracy than the enemy, and you don't have to change your true essence back and forth multiple times. So in my scenario, I could maybe remove one or two accuracy nodes. I don't even know how many I have, to be honest. I think I do have some big ones, probably in this one. Yes, in here I have a maxed out accuracy roll. I will probably leave that, obviously remove first the ones that have lower rolls. That's just a given, I'd say. So I will leave this one for last. I probably have another maxed out one, to be honest. So just remove enough to just be at 100 above the enemy. And if you had a +0 piece of gear like I had here for this guy, this will give me the possibility to further increase my accuracy if there is a need to. And like when future units are released, I will always increase my total accuracy. My archive will keep on improving. I will just increase revolution on more and more units. So in theory, if I don't exaggerate and I don't push extra hard, it will never come a time where I will have less accuracy than the enemy evasion. But again, you never know. You have to account for all those factors and try to make your decision as to how many accuracy nodes you need. You probably don't need 12. Well, at first you do. There's almost no doubt. You might even need a few more, but try to build around only having 12 here. And then when you are at a good point, your archive is built, you have a lot of units with Revolution 3 and 6, then definitely start reducing the number of accuracy rolls and go for some more magic resistance, crit rate, attack percent in some cases. That's kind of the idea. But I will say again, if you were to stick with this option alone, it would still be a fairly good tree. It's not a trashy one, it's solid. The most important stats are the slot 2, the additional stat 2. So if you have a few less rolls of magic resistance at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. If you're not getting crit rate here, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. If we talk about some more additional variations, like the ones here that I wrote for the dexterity tree, let's go for this one first before going over the other tree, obviously. This is just a variation where you remove the 6 rolls of physical resistance and you go with 24 of swiftness. This is just to maximize damage against bosses, and also in general in adventure it will lead to more damage. The main drawback is that if you want to build units like Eden with a resistance set or Kaiser with a resistance set, this will be a lot trickier to do because you have to focus a lot more on the actual stab stats on your pieces. That would be like 39.5% that you need to find in the substats. That's quite the high amount, especially if you're unlucky like me with ignition weapons. For the second variant of the tree, so the one where you have a godlike archive, and that I'm not at the moment. So mine is not at this level, as you could see. I could still remove a couple of accuracy roll, but I'm still keeping them, to be honest. And here, well, for dexterity is the same logic. Actually, the tree is exactly the same, just instead of the 12 points in accuracy, you add 4 more in magic resistance for ease of building and 8 in crit rate. Is not needed on a unit like Kaiser, but there are not many ranged units that have guaranteed crits. So Alice would like it, Viol would like it, Machini would like it. Lots of units would like this additional crit rate. Is it mandatory? No, by no means. So Again, staying in the previous version is totally fine. Then we have for strength, we have another variation, and that could be you could go for like an evasion build and remove the 6 crit rate and the 6 magic resistance, so the ones that you got from accuracy, and basically go from accuracy to evasion. That's it. Now, is it a good choice? Not necessarily. It kind of helps with survivability, kind of helps in a bit more like PvP oriented content or very high deficit oriented content. Some warriors have good synergies with evasion in their kits, so it would help them. But again, kind of up to you, to be honest. Doesn't matter as much. For intelligence, there are not many additional variations. Actually, you don't really care much about crit rate. Mages already have crit rate in the subnodes, so they have guaranteed crits in adventure. For PvP, enemies have crit rate resistance, so it could still be helpful, but not that much. So the general consensus is to go for full magic resistance. You could go for some attack rolls. You could go for some evasion, even though supports and mages have the lowest evasion out of all the classes. Or again, you could go for crit rate. Kind of up to you, but this is usually the general distribution. So you will be overkilling in magic resistance most of the times. This could either just allow you to easily overcap and that's it if you are running a main stat magic resistance, or you could run a slot for something else. Effect hit, effect resistance, whatever you want, you could change it. That gives you that option. And for the last three that I added because someone requested the PvP version, I'm not 100% sure this is the best in slot for PvP for most people, but this is definitely something people will not obtain normally. You need a not a whale account like mine, but a very like almost Leviathan level account or Kraken, however we want to call it. They need Revolution 6 on basically every single unit. Then you have so much accuracy from your archive that it doesn't matter. You can remove all of it. And you also have crazy high links. So it doesn't matter if you don't run resistances in adventure because you're likely close to their links, like you are probably at 100 deficit, maybe not even that. And your units are likely more tanky than the enemies. You can just go full evasion basically everywhere. And that's more or less it, guys. Very straightforward and simple. There might be differences for sure. It might not be the most accurate one. Again, I'm not PvP expert. I relied on other people to provide me with this information. And since somebody asked, I added it, but I do not recommend anyone to run this tree unless, again, you are one of those people that really invest a lot of resources in this game and you compete in PvP. Then you can give it a shot. Not for people playing the game normally for the PvE aspect, let's say. So these are more or less the variants. I don't think there is much else to mention here. I don't know if you have any questions about the new layout, anything you would like to change. I'm open for everything. Just let me know. If it makes sense, I will definitely adopt it. And let me know if the explanation was lacking, if you would have liked more information on stuff that I didn't cover. Just let me know and I will do my best to address it again. So yeah, I'd say that's pretty much all for this video. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow with the Gustan kit preview, if they do release it tomorrow, otherwise probably in 2 days or something. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I will see you guys later. Bye.